Natalia, what does working the jab mean? Define it.
Define it.
Yeah. Come on, dude.
I know, you're making me nervous.
Working the jab is defined here as varying the power, speed, intensity, frequency, level, and range of your jab in order to control or damage your opponent. Is that pretty fair?
Yeah.
Does that sound familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe I said that
a lot.
Yeah. I liked the glossary in a book. I love a good glossary. Are you a glossary kid or a non-glossary kid? Work the jab is one of those things coaches say and they never tell you what to do. In the Icebreakers course, we have a complete guide to working the jab, but I want to talk about the definitions. I think I can share that here. Poking, probing, and posting. Do you know what a probe is? You know, like, do you know what a probe is? Like when they send a probe into space, or they send a probe into the ocean, or aliens probe you, you know? They're trying to gather information. The purpose of probing is to gather information. Probing is also sometimes referred to as pawing. If you've ever heard the term paw the jab. Have you ever heard that? Paw the jab out? Mm-hmm. Yeah, not here.
No.
Not trying to score, not trying to damage. I'm probing, I'm gathering information. I have no intention of landing this on you. So I don't call it a feint. Because a good probe, an actual probe, if you were to blunder forward, hands down, into my probe, it probably wouldn't do anything. There's a few different ways to do it. We're going to cover later, like the actual technique, like where to aim, because there's some funky stuff with how you aim this thing. But understanding that you're not trying to do anything will help you get this thing out there more. And it's going to look to judges, it's going to look more active, it's going to build up your confidence, it's going to get him to guess, or her to guess, excuse me, right? Probe. I'm just trying to get information. What does Natalia do when I start probing? We get this far away, which this is a big hole in the way that combat sports striking is trained. It starts from this far away, fighter, are you ready, fighter, are you ready? And they come out, and then I guess we think we're going to go, you ready?
Yeah.
Ready to go Dutch? And we go like this. That's not real. So we come out, and I start probing, and now she's like, oh, I don't like that. That's information. I know that if I do this, I'm going to get real estate. Maybe she's hyper aggressive. And I probe, and I realize that makes her want to punch. So now I know I need to change strategies. And I found that out before I said, I'm going to punch you in the face. Because that means I can get punched in the face. Remember, the object of the game is to hit and not get hit. Probing gives me the information I need to make the decisions about how I'm going to accomplish that. Poking, however, is a real strike. Poking is a real strike, but it's just thrown at their defense. So however they're blocking or whatever, I'm actually throwing that strike with intention to land, but I'm throwing it at whatever defense they've chosen. She chose parrying there. If they do that stupid thing, make sure you can see a little bit. Yeah. Oh no. If I throw it there, see, that sucks, doesn't it? Right? That's not a great way. Anyway, you throw it at their defense, whatever their defense is. Even if it's their head movement, even if their movement is even if their defense is head movement, I'm going to throw a real strike at that defense. Poking, I picked up from fighting game terminology, but if you've ever heard the term a stiff jab. The purpose is important. We have to define that so we can get good at this stuff. The purpose is to disrupt, intimidate, and possibly even damage. Because if she's just blocking or whatever, she's going to feel that heat. All right? When I come up with the courses, I travel around and spar at other gyms, and I did whole sessions where I only jabbed. And it still escalates when you really, really poke a lot. Even if you're not hitting the person, you can still escalate a sparring session by just like ferociously like. And in the unit, we talk about the targeting of it, like where we're trying to actually aim. There's some secrets to it. There's some spots that we're going to aim at that can really like move people around and set them off. I should save something, but I'll give you some good stuff. It can also work as a guard break, right? If they're super tight on their guard and we want to go, bah, whap, right? If we want to go, whap, whap, right? Sticking that jab in there intentionally at their defense in order to break it up can be very useful. And if we really get them to shell up, it's going to blind them for our other attacks, which is the whole purpose of the jab anyway. Now, another reason that this is different from probing is if she blunders into this thing, for safety purposes, I'm throwing a real strike. If she blunders into this strike, boom, it will hurt. A probe would not hurt, a poke would hurt. Understanding the purpose of these things, the probe is to gather information, the poke is to actually damage and or disrupt. What's the first mix-up? When you're trying to mix a person up, what's the first mix-up you learn?
High and low.
Good job. High and low, show it to me. All right, do it again. The first mix-up Natalia learned was high and low. Wrong, sorry, it was a trap. The first mix-up that you should learn is not high and low. They're like, no, she totally got that one right. I set you up. I set you up for failure. The first mix-up you learn is hit them or not hit them. Understanding the differences and uses of these things is like how we can become pressure fighters, right? And build confidence in our range so that when we want to hit them, we can. It's not fair. It's really not fair because I know what we're doing. And Ty's just standing over here going, I don't know. That's the real mix-up. It's like, what? Because if I do this a lot, you're like, okay, I got that measured. But then oh, you were ready that time.
Yeah, I was ready.
Good job. Nice. That's the true mix-up. And then we go into high-low. And then it's like kick or kick. Or then it's like mix-ups get infinitely complicated. But the first one you learn is, am I here or am I here? Posting is one of the most useful, versatile skills you can develop. It's far too long for a YouTube video, but I do want to, define it. Its purpose is nearly limitless. It's an offensive move, but it has defensive capabilities. It binds, it blinds, it works as a monitor. Like as I'm posting on her, if she tries to do something, I'll feel it and I have that information. And it's a built-in long guard. Like if all goes to shit and she starts coming at me wild, you already have a guard in place. So it's definitely meta. That's a huge meta part of the game. Like zoning, if we want to use more fighting game terminology. Do you play fighting games? Mm-mm. So does it sound like gibberish, the stuff I'm saying right now?
Not really.
Okay, you with me? Mm-hmm. The post limits their movement and influences their movement. Like if I'm posting on you, forward's definitely out, right? And it limits the strikes you can throw. Like I don't want to give away too much. You can limit what they can use against you with the post, which makes it more predictable what they will. Our Icebreakers is offensive guide. I can share the defense. Yeah. If I'm tired of getting jabbed by Natalia, I can post on that hand. I mean, she can still throw the right, but it'd be off balance. I'm pushing on her. And if I'm posting here, I know it's not that one, so I know it's the right, so I can reasonably expect that. And if she thinks it's a kick instead, she's off balance when she goes to kick. So it has defensive capabilities. I'll share that. In the course we cover the mechanics and the targeting, like where to post, because there's like different. You know that there's different places you could do. I don't want to show because there's some sneaky shit in there. Links in the description below if you want to check out Icebreakers. But I do want you to have all this information regardless. What is working the jab? Because I want it defined. And I might have been a bit hard on your coach. He's probably like a really good athlete with a lot of experience. And a lot of this is like you learn it on the job and you understand it intuitively. But if you're new and sort of intelligent, you would like explanations. I think a lot of people would be better served by having this stuff explained to them very well.